that monster.
Look at that.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the River Rats. Today we're going over our 2023 tackle arsenal. Guys, so the first box I'm going to be going over today is my terminal tackle box. This is a box that I have jam-packed over the years, and definitely probably my favorite box, and kind of going to go over the way that I have my tackle boxes organized and stuff like that. So starting in the top left here, I like to put most of my jig heads. So I got my swim bait jig heads, my jig worm, and just like Ned style jig heads, my tube jigs, and then my hair jigs. And on my far right, I've got all of my 1/6 ounce Ned rig heads for smallmouth. So those are my that's kind of how I set up my top. Now my second row here, I've got my biffle hard head jigs, like swing head jigs, stuff like that. I've got all my wacky and Nico hooks here. So I have my size 1 wacky rig hooks, size 1/0, my size 2 Nikos, my size 1 Nikos, my Aaron Martin's Gamakatsu drop shot finesse hooks, my VMC finesse Nico drop shot hooks, my VMC Nico weedless Nico hooks, and here I have all my weedless Ned rigs. Alright, going on to the third row is where I keep most of my EWG stuff. Right here I have my standard EWGs, my light wire EWGs, and my new favorite EWG hook is this ringed VMC EWG. I don't know if you can see the ring there, but yeah, so that's where I keep all my VMC crossover rings, like that kind of stuff. And here I have my drop shot weights, and off here I have my drop shot weights. Here I got my Nico weights, stuff like that. Here's just kind of miscellaneous. I got my flipping hooks, Tokyo rigs, and some bigger swim bait heads in there. So I keep my treble hooks are in here. And then last but not least, my weight compartment that is stash fill of tungsten weights. So yeah, moving on to the next box.
Yeah, for terminal, I got a bunch of Ned rigs, got some hair jigs, maybe like Half Moon, Nico weights. Those are also good. Some drop shot weights, some drop shot hooks. For drop shot hooks, I like to use this one. There you go. That one, which is, here's a package right here. And of course these I catch a lot of smallmouth on. Just little kind of finesse jigs, Ned rig jigs, stuff like that. But yeah.
Alright guys, next box I am going to be going over is my jig box. So let's start off with our top row. That's where I keep all my chatterbaits, all of my thunder crickets and jackhammers here. Have them all up top here. I got my bluegill colors here, my more dirty water colors here. Just kind of how I organize it. And then here I've got my Z-Man Mini Max. These are awesome little micro chatterbaits I like for smallmouth, stuff like that. Moving on here, I have my bigger flipping jigs in here. Outcast RTX jigs I like for my flipping jigs. Here I've got some Beast Coast open water sniper jigs. Like those for smallies. Have some more of these little micro finesse jigs like these for smallies as well. Moving on, I got all my football jigs here for largemouth. I'm on rocks and stuff like that. Moving on here, this is my entire flipping jig aisle from here to here. Favorite jig is the Outcast Stealth Fighter and Cage Fighter. I have all my Stealth Fighters in here, and these two, and then a mix of both in these, and then my Cage Fighters in here. So yeah, that's kind of how I run them. And then here I have all Outcast juice jigs. But yeah, and then I got more Outcast juice jigs down here, black and blue. But moving on is my swim jig spots. I've got my dirty water swim jig colors here, and my clear water swim jig colors here, like Outcast tackle swim jigs I like to use. So all my jigs I pretty much use Outcast tackle. It's just a brand that I like. And yeah, moving on.
Jigs. I really do like this box from Plano Edge. a jig box. It's super nice. But I got my swim jigs here. I usually use the Outcast heavy cover jig or swim jig. I'm also gonna try some snakehead swim jigs from Z-Man. Then I got chatterbaits. I'm very excited to use these jackhammers and snakehead and all these different kinds of chatterbaits. And then I got some just normal, just some Outcast jigs. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to use this. This is definitely going to be stuff I'm going to use in the spring for sure.
Alright guys, the next box we're going to be talking about is my frog / chicken jig box. Just going over some of the frogs that I like. My favorite all-around frog is this Bro Bronzeye Junior frog, 60 size I believe it is. Got a crap ton of those in different colors. And yeah, stuff like that. I also like using this Jackal Kyara frog. Great little smaller frog for when the bite's tough, and smallmouth like this on the river. You could skip this under trees, skip it really well, and yeah, that kind of stuff. And my other frog that I use is the Spro popping frog. So yeah, those are my favorite frogs. And for chicken jigs, I use some of the Outcast tackle chicken jigs, and this is our buddy Ryan Pincala. He makes chicken jigs too, so he sends us some every once in a while, and we load up on those, and those things pound them. So yeah, moving on to the next box. Alright guys, next box that I have is my hard bait box. Yeah, starting off in the top here, I've got kind of my dirty water baits. I've got my liplesses, my flat sides, stuff of that nature. In this compartment I've got my jerk baits and stuff like that. Yeah, mostly just jerk baits. Moving on here, I have all my square bills in here in this bin. But not the biggest crankbait guy, but I did buy a crankbait rod this year, so definitely gonna try to get into that. Moving on here, we kind of got our smaller swim baits, stuff like 6-cent Speed Glide and some of the Mike Buka bull shads. I like those a lot. Moving here, we have all of our Rapala DTs. We got DT6s, DT10s, DT16s, DT4s. And then here we have all my top water. I got some Berkeley hijackers, some Stormarashi cover pops, some head and spooks, some evergreen shower blows, Strike King, Sexy Dog Juniors, water ploppers, just all the hard water top water baits that I have on here. So yeah.
Hey guys, this is the next box here. These are my crankbaits. I am getting a order of some more crankbaits from 6 cents, but these are what I have right now. Flat sides, I'm really excited to use these for colder water this year. This is a flat side by Spro. I believe that's called Little John or something like that. Then we got, this one's from Shimano. I'm really excited to use this one this year. It has that kind of like flash technology there that the World Minnow had, but they have it now. They have it in their crankbait. So I'm pretty excited to try that. Probably one of my favorite crankbaits, if not my favorite crankbait that I've used, the Rock Crawler by Spro. But yeah, here we got the top waters. We got the water ploppers. This is a great color. Perch. We got, my favorite colors are perch, bone, and also the loon color. And I do like my walk the dog baits, or yeah, whatever you like to call these, spooks. And then of course we got frogs, which I catch a lot of bass on frogs, and I use them a lot. This is my favorite frog from Jackal. It's a great frog. It's a little bit smaller of a frog, but I think that really helps them get the whole frog in their mouth and helps the hookup ratio. It is pretty soft. So yeah. Next we got jerk baits, Jackal re-ranges here. Got some Megabass Vision 110 plus 2s, plus 1s. and just normal vision, or yeah, 110s right here. So yeah, and this is on my new crankbait rod. I didn't talk about this in our rod review because I just got this Thorn Brothers spring sale. But yeah, I'm really excited to use it this year. A little bit smaller reel, so it fits nicely in your hand. And yeah, I'm super excited to throw that this year.
Alright guys, so the first bin I'm going to be talking about is my swim bait and chatterbait trailer bin. I've got all of my swim jig trailers in here and swim baits in here. I got a lot of Strike Kings, Kitex, and stuff like that. 3.8s, 4.3s, pretty much in straight green pumpkin colors. Do have some whites as well. I also love the X-Zone Swammer. Love that color too. Probably my favorite color in all of my swim baits. X-Zone Bluegill color. But yeah. And then down on this side we have all my chatterbait trailers. I really like the Z-Man Razor Shads. That is my favorite. And also throw in here, I got some of my smallmouth tubes in here. I just don't really have a spot to put those, so I'm just going to throw my smallmouth tubes in this spot as well. So yeah, it's kind of how I organize box number 1.
Mag Draft. This is pearl color. This one is perch. This one's got a treble hook. I did switch this out with a feather treble hook, but the stock treble hook, which is right here, is also a good hook. This one is MB Gizzard. That's another great color. But yeah, and then we got 316 swim baits. I love to use a lot of 316 swim baits. Got the 316 bluegill swim bait. This thing is sweet. It's a line through swim bait. Same with these. These are all line through swim baits too over here. But yeah, when you hook the fish, the bait gets out of the way, and you're just basically fighting them on the hook. So yeah, that's nice. Next is like creature baits, I guess you could say. The Demiki Knockouts are a great creature bait. What else do we got in here that's really worth talking about? The Menaces. The Menaces are sweet. Arsenal also makes some great plastic. The Assault Bug. It's a great one. Oh, of course, the X-Zone Adrenaline Craw is a great one.
Alright guys, bin number 2, we have our Ned rig stuff and our wacky rig stuff. So starting in this side, I have all the Ned rig baits you can imagine from Z-Man. I have some of the TRDs, the ticklers, the bugs. Everything you can need is on this side. Moving on here, we have our missile baits, Ned bombs. Love that bait a ton. That's definitely a sleeper Ned rig bait that I don't think a lot of people use. That's good. Keep going on here. We have our X-Zone Ned rig bait. It's got the new Stealth Invader in. Pretty excited to try that on Ned. And got some of these Muscleback Finesse Craws and X-Zone Ned Zone, stuff like that. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much what I use for Ned rigs. Very simple. A lot of Z-Man stuff, some missile baits and X-Zones. Now we're moving on to our wacky rig stuff. Love using the Yamamoto baits, Yamasenkos, 5-inch. That's the standard Senko. Also dabble with the Yum Dingers. You know, you can't go wrong with like $2 if you need a pack of Senkos. You just go to Dick's and grab that. And also trying this David Dudley's Perfect Wacky. I seen like a commercial on it. Thought it looked pretty cool, so gonna give that a try. Probably will do a bait review on that later if it really does work. But yeah, that's kind of the Ned rig wacky rig box.
Now we got drop shots. I fish a lot of drop shots. I got a lot of robo worms, which robo worms are great in a 4.5 inch. Then we got the Yoda worm. I love the Yoda worm. A little bit bigger profile than the robo worms, but they work so good. They are a great bait. And then, if you didn't watch our drop shot video, this was on our drop shot video, and we were super impressed with this bait. The action is just incredible. It is such a good looking bait in the water. Super impressed with that one. Then we got trick shots. I like the trick shots. I've caught many fish on the trick shots, but they tend to, since they float on a drop shot, they tend to kind of stand like that instead of kind of like neutral buoyancy in the water, which I thought was kind of interesting. Then, of course, the Stealth Invader. I'll have to try that this year and see how good it works. I have not tried those yet. Savage gear. That looks good. I have tried these and I have caught some smallmouth on Mille Lacs on those ones, so I'm sure they'd work. And then these ones from RoboWorms. I'm super excited to use the Alive Shad, especially on smallmouth. I think they could do really good with smallmouth. And then of course, Powerbait flatworm, Berkeley flatworm. But yeah, green pumpkin party. It's a great color. I've done very good in tournaments on that color and that exact bait. So yeah.
Alright guys, next bin I'm going to be talking about is my drop shot / Nico rig bin. Love throwing drop shots. Definitely probably one of my favorite techniques to throw. And yeah, starting on the right side here, we have all of my RoboWorms. Got a lot of packs of RoboWorms. Moving on to our sides here, we have our Zoom Finesse worms and Zoom Trick worms. Those are phenomenal drop shot baits as well. Love throwing those on the Finesse Nico hook. Moving on over here, we have some of our Strike King half shell and stuff for smallmouth. Keep going, we got all of our X-Zone Deception worms, Finesse Slammer, stuff like that. Those are awesome baits as well. Keep going, we have our Missile Baits Quiver worms, which I've actually never tried, but going to try them out for the first time this year and see how they do. So pretty pumped up for those. Yeah, we got more Zoom right here, more Zoom Finesse worms right here. Got some Big Bite Baits Coontail worms, love those. Some Berkeley flatworms, love those as well. And Z-Man trick shots. All the baits in here I really like a lot, throwing on a drop shot. So yeah, it's kind of a little rundown on how I run my drop shot box. So yeah, next bin. Alright, this bin is basically my Strike King Rage bin, I guess you could call it. I have every single Rage package you can pretty much get in here. Lots of green pumpkin swirls, stuff like that. I got Rage Menaces all in this area, Rage Bugs in this area, and then Rage Craws down here. So yeah, got a lot of those baits. Love those for jig trailers, Texas rigs, flipping, basically anything I do with a stout hook. I got one of these on there. Swim jig trailers, the Menace is good too as well. And right here I got my Tamiki Knockouts. This is another like kind of Japanese JDM style bait. Really like the profile on this thing when it looks on a jig. And yeah, love the colors in this as too. Definitely a sleeper. Alright guys, the last bin is kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, craws and stuff like that. I also keep all my mag drafts in here that I have ready to go. So yeah, basically we'll start down. We got our Arsenal Assault Bugs down here. Love those for flipping grass. Right here we have all of our X-Zone Adrenaline Craws, Muscleback Craws, stuff of that nature. Right here we got all of our Missile Baits D-Bombs. Keep going down, we got some of our Zoom Z Craws and Zoom Ultraviolet Speed Craws, stuff like that. Then we go down a little bit, go down to our Big Bite Bait Craw Tubes and BFEs. Love those baits flipping. Also trying out a new deal that I've not tried out, Missile Baits Chunky D. Gonna try that on a jig trailer. I think that'll do pretty good. Got some Biwa baits, JDM styles, some Berkeley Chigger Craws, and some more owner JDM, I don't know what that bait's called, the Yuki Bug. Kind of an interesting name, but that bait catches them, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that's kind of, yeah. Thank you guys for watching today's video.